Warden into the battle, and it looks like Moon staffs out a bear, and we should probably blink ahead to try and do a bit more damage to this paladin, which is actually getting pretty close to 3 now. And Water Elemental needs to be dispelled. Actually, no Dryads around. I'm a bit surprised by that. Bolt being used now on this Warden, which is just going to take a lot of damage from those towers. And Ultimate being used by Moon just to get that Storm Earth and Fire. And looks like Moon's going to take out these early towers, and probably should use his ultimate to try and do some damage to these other towers as well. As long as he can just save one of those elementals, then he is all right. And Bolt, meanwhile, being used on a bear. Actually, it's an odd choice, but obviously the Warden is the obvious choice to a Bolt here. But I'm sure Infi has some master plan here, and Moon now taking a lot of damage on his Dryads, but is walking in a sneaky expansion. Jesus Christ, Moon, you never give up. Like, there's no mine that Moon could have tried to go for that he hasn't gone for, basically. I mean, you can go for the islands, but no one goes for the islands because it's insanity and it's suicide. And obviously Infi scouting this out immediately, and it's just going to be a bit of a distraction. Maybe Moon can move back in. Yeah, Moon coming straight back in. This could be quite nice play from Moon, because he knows that Infi's going to be out of position from his towers, and now bringing in Dryads as well. Could go for a Dispel here, because obviously this mine could go down. Obviously the mine's never going to get up, unless Infi is absolutely insane. He's never going to let this mine go up. And some air here harassing Moon very effectively, because Moon has nothing that can harass air. And is it a TP? No, it's just a staff coming in. And Warden using a Shadow Strike, and his orb means that these things take a lot of damage. Unfortunately, he didn't do orb and Shadow Strike on the same unit. But it's not the end of the world. It's going to mean they both have less hit points next time they run into each other. And Infi now coming in again to take out this mine. Actually, I don't think he took it out last time, but he's just, I'm not sure. Moon just playing crazily here. He's just going for every expansion he can, and Infi really needs to stop these expansions from going up, but Moon playing very well and defending them. And Infi probably, if he brought in a lot of Griffins now, he could probably do a fair bit of damage here, but it looks like he doesn't really have the economy to do that, just because he's been spending so much on towers, and sort of back to his old style. Infi stopped playing towers for a while, but it looks like that's what he's back to now. And a lot of Hippogriffs coming out now, just scouting out this expansion. Actually, Moon just gonna creep this? Jesus Christ, what the hell are you doing, Moon? No, it looks like that was an accident. I thought I was going to say he would have no way of finishing off that creeping. He was going to take so much damage from it. But meanwhile, Moon now coming in, going to be able to take down a couple of these air units, and looks like these tanks are going to go down as well, but not before having taken down that entangled golem wine. And Moon now with one low bear getting it staffed out. Really nice use of staff in this game by Moon. Actually, both teleportation staffs and preservation staffs, and Moon needs to get a couple of dispels off here, although I imagine his Dryads are pretty low on mana. Yeah, they all are, just from all the dispelling they've been doing, and one skeleton in here as well. Could be dispelled if Moon had more mana, but unfortunately it seems he doesn't. And level 8 now on this panda. Jesus Christ. Bolt being used on this panda, but he does have a TP if worst does come to worst, which I don't imagine it will. He uses his ultimate again. Oh god, and looks like Moon's gonna be coming in here with his Warden, but it will take a lot of focus. Although looks like these elementals have actually moved into the towers, and Moon immediately using Phantom Knives, trying to get that Paladin kill, but Moon does, Infi does staff it away, and Moon will be forced to probably staff his yeah, probably staff it back would be better. Wait for that panda to come back and then staff the Warden out so it can TP back in, and we'll have to see whether or not that's what actually Moon goes for. Moon's elementals are running out of time now. Moon actually looks like he used a healing potion. Oh no, he must have used rejuvenation or something. Because his Warden is at much higher hit points now. Could use some more mana as well. And looks like Infi's actually abandoned this and is going to be going for a different attack altogether. One which Moon is not expecting, and you can see Moon assuming that Infi's just hiding his heroes in here with these towers like he has been all game, and in fact he has not been doing that. And looks like Moon's Hippogriff's now in a bit of trouble. That one Dragonhawk was staffed out, and meanwhile Moon just TP straight in. He has the economy, look at all his mines, and he is able to do this, and Infi is going to be mining from this for a fair while longer actually. And so it looks like Infi's just going to TP out obviously, and his Paladin meanwhile is now back from being staffed, and this one Dragonhawk will be back soon as well. Still 0/0 upgrades on the heavy air, and Moon's now got this mine up and running after having proclaimed it being a complete waste of time and something that Infi would definitely be able to cancel. Moon has somehow managed to keep that mine in the game, and Infi is still putting on a fair bit of pressure. As I say, high level heroes aren't the be all and end all in this matchup. It's one of the few matchups where you can actually win quite easily with sort of a hero level deficit of 3 or 4, and also Infi has a couple more, has one more hero actually than Infi as well, and then Moon as well. So certainly there's some interesting play here coming from both sides. Moon at 82 food, he's really not caring about his upkeep. Maybe he's just saying, I want these units basically, and I'll pay anything to have them, because he has this 1100 gold banked, so maybe he's just going to start pumping food. Maybe he's going to go to 100 food now and then go for some push, and still 3-1 upgrades. I can't believe Moon has not gone for more armor upgrades. They're so useful, especially against towers. They're so useful. And Moon now TPing in. It's got to be a very aggressive TP, but unfortunately Infi is around early enough, and Kettl's always towers, and actually there's one tower here which just Infi apparently just stopped building, and Moon's gonna be able to take down all these towers pretty quickish, and ultimate being used, and that avatar vengeance isn't gonna have anything to bring up any skeletons with for a while, because there's no dead units at the moment. But one bear does go down, so there's one skeleton, and some dryads running in here stupidly, and Moon actually taking a bit of damage on his warden. Does need to run it out, but rejuvenation can always be used. Actually staffing it out, going to heal it up on Moon was, and then probably staff it back in, obviously using a staff of teleportation. And Moon actually he's kept his Tree of Eternity there all game. I think it's because he really wants to keep his tier 3 tech up. It's possible to walk it over to an expansion that you've lost, and you then capitalize on that, and you don't need to pay for a new one. But if you do lose it, then obviously you lose so much stuff that you need. Like if you lose Ancient of Lords, you can't rebuild them, you can't use your shop to as much effect, and really it can be pretty painful if you lose. So I think Moon's just decided to play it safe and decided to splurge on the expansions instead. And Infi just keeps on coming in here with these towers. Some really aggressive play here by Infi, and Moon meanwhile just on top of his game, going to be able to take out these towers, and can't break through the massive towers though. And actually Infi's Mount King is pretty low, but does get healed up, and Moon using rejuvenation now, going to heal up both his heroes, and then probably going for another push. And meanwhile we have 5 tanks here. Those are going to be enough to take down this expansion if Infi gets the positioning that he wants. But it looks like Moon is aware of this. He did have all his hippogriffs there, and it looks like Moon is moving in for a bit of an attack. He's just going to keep on pushing at this expansion now. Expansion towers, and Infi looks like he was moving away. I think he was going to try and support his units, but he realized he was too far behind, and so he's just going to actually, what's Infi? He's going for the Ancients of War. That's a really odd choice. He should definitely go for that expansion, because he probably could have taken it down. But lots of these bears now coming in for Moon, and did Moon lose his Hunter's Saw or something? No, I don't know why the hell he hasn't gone for these armor upgrades, because they're so useful against towers, especially on bears. Obviously it's not at all useful against tanks, but considering we've seen sort of so many towers, it's been a bit surprising. It looks like that Infi tried to get a bolt off there so that Moon couldn't get a Fan of Knives, but it was slightly too late, and so Moon did get off that Fan of Knives, and Infi does need to get out of there. Still only level 5 and a bit on his Archmage. If he could get 6, that would probably turn this game around for Infi, but I think at the moment it's just not going too well for him. He is bringing in more tanks here, 4 more tanks. That should be enough to take down this expansion, assuming he can get the positioning, but it looks like Moon knows what he's doing. He's actually paying attention, he's focusing down the low ones, and so it looks like, did he staff in his hero there? Or maybe it was here. This one tank coming in here with only 5 hit points, but there's nothing to fight it. Moon really needs to TP something in just to take down this expansion, and it looks like he's bringing in 1 bear. That'll be enough. And Moon meanwhile has lost his expansion and rebuilding it immediately, and Infi might well notice this and come in. Actually no, it looks like he's being blocked, and so he's just going to try and bring his tanks out. He should use his TP at this point, I think. There's not really much more damage he can do. He could try and take down that 1 more bear, but he's just going to start losing tanks at this point. And he's staying in this battle though. I have to respect his perseverance if nothing else. And Moon with lots of hippogriffs now. Where is his army? I can't believe Moon isn't bringing in his army at this point, just to take care of this. It looks like the army's just running around. Moon does have a TP, which I guess he can't TP in here, but he could have TP'd to this base and then, I don't know. So it looks like if he actually did manage to stay in this battle and wreak a bit of havoc and not lose too many, but if Moon finally TPing in here, going to be distilling these water elementals, and I don't think he'll be able to kill this Tree of Life, considering that the panda's around, or at least was around. I'm not sure why Moon has all those sort of AFK units here, and so actually Infi gonna manage to take down this expansion, and Moon just needs to have uprooted that a bit earlier. I think Moon was a bit confident that it wouldn't go down as well, so he decided to keep it in a form where it would take more damage, but wouldn't mean that his mind could stay up, and Moon gonna lose that, but as a result Infi gonna lose more than parity just in terms of tank value, and looks like Infi's getting out this these sort of AFK units, and Moon just with his panda here. I think it's been breath of firing and then running, and then breath of firing and then running, and I'm really surprised we don't have an orb on this panda. I think that would be really useful, especially considering he has a talisman of evasion, and now that he's level 8, he's starting to have drunken brawler. He can definitely sell his talisman of evasion, buy another orb. That'd be very nice, especially against the air, but just in general, sort of orbs of venom are so nice. It looks like Infi was trying to set up some towers here, and Infi still with sort of 600 gold. Actually he had 900 a second ago. He's just started building some stuff, and so he sort of still is in this game. He's still building units and just continuing to build tanks. This is just such a it's actually started to work out a bit better for him, just because Moon's just lost so many expansions that I think he's going to start to struggle now. Moon, I think this is his only expansion at this point, this one here, and so he needs to make sure